Hello, cheeky little Sunday review. Why not, eh? I'm in the mood. So this review is actually a request from one of my subscribers, Rob Amick. Hi. Who, by the way, is an amazing artist. Go and check out his portraits. I think they're incredible. I told you that, Rob, already. I can't draw for shit, basically. I can't even draw a circle. Even though circles are quite hard to draw, I must admit. But yeah, I can't draw anything, so I'm super impressed with the portraits you do. I think they're amazing. So yeah, I'll link his channel down here. Go and have a look at them. They're brilliant. So this is Cartier, Declaration d'un Soir, Declaration of the Evening. There's a whole lot of flankers to this fragrance, none of which I've had experience with. And Rob, I'm still baffled as to what the hell that other one is I've got. It's just called Declaration, and while all the reviews say that it's kind of aromatic and citrus, it's just pure powder on my skin. I don't know what's going on there. I'm sure I'll get to the bottom of it somehow, but for now, I did find this. That's so weird. I was just sifting through stuff and I thought I only had one sample, but I had two. So I wore it yesterday and I've been wearing it today. So yeah, basically it's a woody floral musk. It came out in 2012. I'm not familiar with the other ones, like I said. What's quite funny actually, it's an eau de toilette as well. What it says in here is, it says, a fragrance which will spice up your life with panache. Spice up your life. Spice Girls song. I shouldn't really know that, but I do. Yeah, I mean the bottle's beautiful. I don't have it. It's not something that I personally would buy, but I do find it really interesting. So what are the notes? So the top notes are, oh actually I wanted to say as well, I wrote down, the perfumer, the person that made this, said they made it to make the heart beat faster and to make men speak their minds. I've been wearing this for 2 days and I've not really felt an abundance of honesty waiting to gush out of me, so I don't know what that's all about. I know perfumes can be kooky sometimes. But yeah, this is a men's fragrance, obviously. So the notes, I'll just quickly spray it on my hand, the last little bit left. The top notes are black pepper, cardamom and caraway. Now caraway I've never smelled on its own, but caraway seeds actually look a little bit like fennel seeds, and I did a bit of research and apparently fennel smells a little bit like licorice. It's a little bit like aniseed licorice, and caraway is supposed to be quite similar. A very dry smelling note. The heart notes are rose and nutmeg, and then the base is sandalwood. So yeah, I really enjoy the opening notes and the dry down. The very base of it is when I start to lose interest, but this to me overall has a very dry feel. It's very dusty smelling. There's a lot of notes that contribute to that in this, namely black pepper, caraway and nutmeg. Nutmeg I've used before when I first started experimenting on my course. When you smell nutmeg, to me it smells a little bit exotic and spicy, but when you use it in a perfume it just creates a real dry woody tone, and I kept trying to balance my perfume out and I kept adding more and more nutmeg and the fragrance was just getting drier and drier and drier. So that's what this fragrance smells like. It's a very dry, woody, dusty rose perfume. The opening is really good. That's when I can smell the rose the most, but after that I don't think it dominates at all. This is way more dominated by the spices and the dry stuff in it. It's pretty cool. I can really smell the nutmeg in this. It's kind of like a very sharp, realistic, woody, natural smelling perfume, and well, fragrance, cologne, aftershave, call it what you like, which I kind of like. I mean, I'd never buy it, but I'm glad I'm getting to smell it. So it's spicy from the black pepper. That's the only essential oil that's ever made me become anosmic temporarily, and it was really scary when it happened. But yeah, a lot of people say that this is very rose dominated, and I personally think it's not. I think the spices are the main feel of this. I really like when it starts to dry a bit more. There's a few cool things that emerge, namely it smells a little bit like earth. There's something that comes out of this that it makes it smell like soil, which I really like. I've smelled a few Black Phoenix perfumes before that have that realistic earth tone. I'm not talking kind of earthy like patchouli is earthy, I mean real mud. And it's like a dusty, muddy rose, and it's quite masculine, but I would probably say that this smells kind of like a niche unisex brand to me. It's quite interesting. It's got a little bit of sexiness going on. It's not overly manly, but yeah, it just, like I keep saying, it just smells very dry to me. Dry, dusky, musty, like if you left a rose in a wooded cupboard for a long time with a few bits of pepper and stuff floating around. I like that. So, like I said before, the dry down unfortunately is my least favourite part. I don't really get much sandalwood from this at all. If anything, it smells more like cedarwood than anything. It's not... Sandalwood is quite sensual and powdery, and there is a powdery tone to this, but it's more of a cedarwood powder, even though it's listed as sandalwood. That's just what my nose can smell. So, the dry down, which is here, this is where, to me, it starts to become a little bit more generic, and it just smells a lot more like just your regular run-of-the-mill men's aftershave. I'm not as experienced with men's fragrances as I am with women, so maybe that's, I'm not, you know, able to comment on stuff like that, but it's much more interesting here. This is where it's a little bit more, oh, okay, that's weird. But yeah, that's it really. I mean, I've worn it a few times. The dry down happens a little bit too quickly for my liking as well. It's about 45 minutes and it's already in dry down on my skin. I wish it held on to the dry spiciness a bit longer. But yeah, nice. The rose is a bit powdery too, so that's giving it a little bit of softness, but it's just kind of all spicy dryness on the top. So that's it. That's my review of Declaration du Soir, however you pronounce it, I don't know. So yeah, thanks Rob for subscribing, and I'll send out your parcel really soon. Click down here to subscribe, and I'll see you guys sometime soon for another review. Bye!